What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
Welcome back, everybody. This is NECC, and this is week 5 or 4, whatever one it is. I believe it's week 5 for Valorant. My name is Infernosis, a new Valorant caster today. I'm joined here by Alice, an older, well, not in age, but an older, has been here longer than I have, that's for sure. How you doing today, Alice?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for some Valorant. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm really excited as well. We've got a pretty nice matchup here today. We've got Springfield and Hood, and this is going to be a very fun one indeed because you've actually casted for Springfield College before.
Yeah, Springfield College, they've been looking super strong this season. They're already 3-1 so far. Aggressive Act was actually our week 4 MVP, so it's going to be super exciting to see what he can do on the arena today.
Yeah, their team is actually, I believe, 3-1 coming into this, so they actually have a positive, stat sheet going so far. Hood College, on the other hand, complete reversal. They won in week 1 against Dartmouth, but haven't won since then, and they actually didn't get to play last week because of a reschedule/forfeit against one team. So maybe they have a little bit they want to show out here. Facing off against a team with a positive scoreline will give them a chance to really show themselves off here. But we are going to start off. The maps for today are going to be what here, Alice?
So our first map is going to be Ascent, and Springfield will be attacking. Map 2 is going to be Haven. Springfield is also going to be attacking. And assuming we get to a map 3, we're going to see Bind. And once again, Springfield will be attacking.
Well, we're good to see them attacking every time. I know we were joking about that, going to be excited about the fact that we don't have to change colors or change sides, at least. I know that's a big problem in Overwatch, at least, because it's constant back and forth. Yeah, overlays will be a big deal to have to switch it up constantly. But Nonetheless, I'm pretty excited here knowing that Aggressive Act was the MVP before, and you've told me that they tend to play one agent and tend to just send it and get 20 kills. I mean, anything you want to say specifically about some of the standout players for that side?
Yeah, so Springfield College, they have a pretty balanced roster. Aggressive Act is typically towards the top. They also have a pretty good operator on their jet players, so it'll be exciting to see, especially since our first 2 maps of the night are going to be Haven and Ascent and Haven, actually in that order. It's always exciting when you see a roster with a jet player. I'm not sure exactly what Hood College's lineup has looked like. I'm not sure if they've been on stream before. Excited to see what they have to do. They're 1-3, so they have a little bit to prove coming into tonight, and Springfield College has looked really strong. So it's going to be a good match. I want to see Hood College step it up just a little bit. I want to see them try to shut down Aggressive Act. I think a lot of teams run into the problem of trying to continue to run into the site that Aggressive Act is playing and not kind of changing their game plan around him. And I think if players try to adapt to that a little more, they might have an easier time beating them.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something to keep an eye out for. Do you think that maybe the fact that most of the actual side of Springfield College is, seniors, they have, Tiki is the only sophomore besides Mix, who is on the bench, I believe. He's the only one he's a junior, but it's mostly seniors on that side. And for the opposing side, it seems to be 3 freshmen. One of those is not actually here. Atmosphere Above is not here for this one, having a replacement come in. But it seems to be mostly younger school year individuals. Do you think maybe that has a play in terms of, like consistency and in regard for how they're going to play in this one?
Yeah, I think as a freshman, you're doing a bunch of stuff for the first time. And it might even be including competing in esports. So it'll be exciting to see this freshman kind of get this experience and see what they have to offer. And I'm sure they're going to be learning a lot as the season goes on. So Hood College, I wouldn't count them out quite yet.
Yeah, definitely keep in mind on this one. For Ascent, we're probably going to see a fairly normal lineup in terms of your agents. Of course, Omen, we had joked about it earlier, saying Omen is just way too strong of an agent. It's been a really high meta. I know you and I both like to play that type of agent, so we really can say that it's broken because it is. No, they're actually going to switch off of the Omen on the attacking side, but we are still going to see that a Cypher as well. And a Cypher on Ascent is a pretty interesting choice. You tend to see, Cyphers over on Bind is their go-to map of choice. I've seen occasionally on Haven, but I have not actually seen one before on Ascent.
Yeah, the Sentinel pick being Cypher rather than Killjoy is kind of unusual. A lot of teams prefer to go with Killjoy. She's a lot stronger on the attacking side because she has a lot of utility you can use for post-plant. And also to watch flanks. It's not the worst pick in the world because, again, Cypher's utility is global, right? So it doesn't go away if Cypher leaves the radius like Killjoy's does. So maybe we'll see some teams have more active flank watching. I don't know, I'm excited to see, but I'm more excited to talk about Scuba with the Viper pick. They're going to be running double controllers on Ascent, and I'm super excited to see how their T-side's going to go.
Oh my goodness, that ultimate for her is just so aggravating to deal with as a player facing off. Just what do I do? Just sit there and stare at a wall of green. And for somebody that's colorblind like I am, that's even more devastating to face off against, just staring at that. It's just like, well, I'm already struggling enough with such a vibrantly colored game like Valorant is. And trust me, I do struggle with this game. I'm not exactly the most phenomenal player of all time, but beyond that, it's something that you have to worry about when you're facing off, especially in post-plant scenarios. It's something that you have to worry about. They can really defend that and, like their role states, take control of the situation.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's going to be super exciting to see how they're going to use the Viper. I'm glad that we see Sovas coming out of both sides. We saw some games last week that didn't have a Sova on Ascent, which can be really difficult in order to gather information, especially on your attacking side. So I'm excited to see exactly what Springfield College has to offer on their attacking side.
We are seeing a fairly normal kind of engagement coming through right now from the attack. They're going to go ahead and situate over in that B lobby near Octopus and kind of hold out. One player is that Scuba. They're kind of taking the chance to peek towards mid, face off against that Puppy player, and really just kind of take control. They seem to be wanting to actually place the wall up. They're going to line it up and try to go for it, I believe, but they're kind of buying their time in this situation to decide what they want to go with first.
Yeah, and interesting to note that Hood College didn't actually pick up a lot of guns besides the Classic, but it looks like we're about to go onto the site as the Lear comes out from Aggressive Act, and they're just going to kind of walk into this B site.
Yeah, they're taking control up on the catwalk on the side. It's going to be the battle bot that finds Aggressive Act. Ben will find that kill. Shots will go between Jellies and Mystic, but it'll go Jelly's side. Bentley with a nade will find Dusk in return. And now you're situated nicely with a 4v3 situation. Spike will now beginning to be planted by Jellies, and it's going to be a retake that has to be done from the other side. They're trying to situate themselves nicely. Scuba's holding out inside a boathouse. They have the opportunity to take fire shots against the spawn over on the defender's side, and they're going to take the full rotation around.
Yeah, it's gonna be a kind of a difficult retake, but as I say that JP Wyman gets the first kill, makes that 2, it's not gonna be a 3v1 as Ben Lee picks up the 3K, and that's the first round going to Hood College.
A phenomenal retake for that situation, despite having a little bit of a disadvantage having to play against their own side. We did see the Viper kind of splashes go out in the direction of the opposition towards Stairwell. They did not care at all. They could just continue to send it into that side, just completely ignoring that one. So not a good start or a good look at the beginning for a Viper coming into this one, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot of good plays, especially when these ultimates start coming in lock.
Yeah, Hood College is going to go for almost a pretty heavy buy on SMGs. We're going to see 4 Spectres coming out, maybe a Bulldog. Actually, they're going to go for the Marshall. So Hood College is expected to win this round. You really want to see them convert their round 1 pistol win into a round 2 win. But if Springfield College could even get a couple of these SMGs out of the hands of Hood College, they're going to be really set up for round 3.
And we do see a centralized push coming through the A lobby. They're going to make their way up. 1 player, no 2 players on catwalk here. They're going to flank back around. They've taken control of Puppy, but the 1 player holding up inside of grass near Garden is going to have a good sight line. They're holding strong where applicable. This could be a play. The flash comes out. It does blind, but he's blinded as well. Shots will connect. Effects finds 2 on a Scuba and Dusk, but will be refragged by Jellies. But Little Smudge will not be outdone. They'll take Tiki as well, and they seem to have control, but Ben will deny it again. Jellies will find onto Little Smudge, but Ben once again will finish it off, and Jellies will fall.
Pretty good round from Hood College there. They did drop 2 players. So they lost a couple of SMGs, but not the end of the world. It looks like they're just going to pick up some SMGs again and go for a kind of half-buy bonus round. Even though that was kind of a misplay by Effects there to flash himself when he pushed out. Still able to get both the kills, and, you know, the gun advantage really paid off there for Hood College.
Yeah, having the gun advantage, you know, puts yourself in a good situation always, and it's just going to happen. Well, you do have to worry about how they're going to push this one again. They have the advantage going forward. The question is, will the aggressive stance they're taking again seems to be that 3-2 split again. This time, I think they're actually focusing 3 towards mid instead, and it's going to take full control. 1 player sliding on catwalk, 1 the actual courtyard themselves, and 1 holding up top. No fights have fully engaged, but they have gotten some information on the A side itself.
Yeah, I like this kind of split push coming out of the side of Springfield. They're going to have a lot of pressure coming from both main and catwalk as the Lear's going to come out. Both of them actually are going to already come out. They're going to get a lot of control into this site. And beautiful play here by Dusk, setting up all the utility in cat.
Another battle bot will go off. It's going to damage him out, but not going to matter. Smudge and Tiki will find kills, but Smudge will fall in return of the refrag from Tiki. Spike will be planted now, so a retake is going to have to go under effect. And speaking of effects, he'll fall into the tripwire. Need to break out the wall that's in place, but the Cypher's not far behind. It's going to be Dusk finding 2 onto Ben and Effects. The flank is going to find rapid success. Mystic holding up top right now in Raptors of A site. He's going to go ahead and shock dart outside near Generator. He's going to step in, but it'll be JP that finds Dusk instead. A 2v2 is officially underway. They have control of grass and garden, but Tree is going to be a hard-fought victory. Scuba finds JP, but Mystic refrags. Last player on the objective himself. He's trying to step up to find a diffuser bait, and the player behind not paying attention. Tiki will absolutely not let that one stand, finding Mystic to end off that round.
Yeah, beautiful round from Springfield there. We talked a little bit about in the beginning, talking about the Cypher pick on Ascent, and Dusk did such a great job at delaying the defenders from being able to push through cat, and then maintaining this cat position allowed him to get the double kill on the flank and really secure that round for Springfield.
Yeah, you definitely need to follow that round for Springfield. They're doing a great job. They finally find 1 round under themselves, which is a good situation now because they're actually able to have a somewhat better economy after them struggling in the first 2 and losing back-to-back. So we need to see them kind of maintain that level of economy. Only people that have standout money in their pocket's going to be Scuba, sitting with 2,500 still left. The question is, if he dies and they have to buy again, it won't be able to be a full buy because they just can't maintain it.
Yeah, this will be a really important round for Springfield's economy. I love what Tiki's doing here with the Sova utility and breaking the Cypher chips. It's going to make this A take a little more manageable, but FX actually picks out Dusk on Cat, and now it's going to be a 4v5 in favor of Hood College.
Yeah, starting with a 4v5 is not where you want to be. They're going to have to think about how they want to go from here. They have control of top mid and mid itself of courtyard, but they're going to make the rotation back through A main and A lobby, and they're going to try to decide what they want to do from here. That Viper wall is still available where applicable to set it up and deny, but pushing through Poppy will only give you full sightlines into that tree room where you already have 2 players watching from window and garden.
Yeah, aggressive act, peeking very slowly. Good use of the Almond Dark cover to go out to kind of stop this angle, but it looks like Hood College has a pretty fair read of this. They're going to have 2 players mid. Aggressive act does have Lears available. It gets the first kill onto JP Wyman.
A bad firefight to start that one off. JP had the position, but the Lear does completely remove any chance of that fight going in their direction. They now have control. Spike will be getting planted, and it's going to be a post-plant scenario when you're already in a bad situation.
Yeah, Tiki playing this kind of cheesy off angle here might be able to, doesn't actually quite get the kill on Little Smudge, who takes him out, so now it's going to be a 2v2.
Oh, Jellies cleans up on Little Smudge despite that pretty hilarious play that we just watched and jumping up on the wall for that cheeky angle. But one player still holding out. They're going to finally step in. The Omen, sorry, not the Omen. He's holding inside a Market, and the player's coming up through actual B main. He's going to step in. The wall, the smoke will not matter, but aggressive act will matter. Finding their 3K, and you did not lie. Finding all of their kills in this round, they are absolutely stepping up and finding themselves higher on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so a good important round win for Springfield College, but despite the fact that they did win, their buy is still going to be pretty broken. We're going to see two of their players on light shields, which isn't the end of the world considering they're going to be going against Hood College's. They're probably going to do a save here or some type of half buy so they can buy next round. So this round should theoretically go to Springfield, but I have to commend Aggressive Act. We've seen a lot of players in this division hold on to their utility, and I feel Aggressive Act is so fantastic with his Lears. He's using them in really high impact positions, and if he's not getting kills with them, he's creating space, and it's opening up the map completely for Springfield.
Oh my goodness, JP will fall immediately. That's from the mid play that comes through. Now you're a man down facing off. They're going to take a pretty aggressive stance though from A. They're going to step all the way behind. Dusk is probably in a bad situation on this rush, but Aggressive Act will take it down. Dusk finds one and a Little Smudge, but will be refragged by Ben. And now a 2v4 situation. Effects picks up a gun for himself, situating himself nicely back in the side. Ben still holding with a Ghost. They've rushed to try and bring themselves back, but the question is, will they choose to save the weapon or just continue to hold out?
Yeah, Scuba dropping the Viper ultimate already. They do have 5 ultimates available for the side of Springfield, so not the worst use in the world. I think if you're Hood College here, there's not a whole lot you can do unless you're going to try to take guns out of the hands of Springfield. They do have one Vandal they decide to save, but it looks like I think they're going to be saving the Vandal and have Bentley walk in and try to see if he can find anything.
Yeah, just secure yourself a little bit extra money, I guess, that you don't have to spend the next round. Unfortunately, Ben will fall, but Effects will get the refrag. And now Effects is in a pretty good position to maybe catch another off guard. He has 2 actually. He could catch off guard. 1 taps Jellies, will heal themselves up. Flash grenade out the side. And right now, I think they've situated themselves nicely. Taken out a couple extra players for the opposite side. And now, only 2 of those players don't get to buy for the next round. Or don't need to buy, I should say.
Yeah, a pretty good round coming out of Springfield. They did use the Viper ultimate. Not the end of the world, even though the players decided to save. And they did get a couple of guns off, or sorry, I'm sorry. Hood College got a couple of guns out of the hands of Springfield, which is actually going to create kind of a problem for Tiki, who, unless his teammate buys him, isn't going to have a gun this round. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you do need to kind of make sure everybody's having a high level of arsenal in their pockets ready to go through. But Effects looks like they're going to take this aggressively. They're holding in below the arch, has a flash grenade in pocket. Jellies, who gets spotted out, will be blinded, but Aggressive will not allow Effects to take that uncontested. And swiftly becoming a 3v5, and the A push is becoming very successful.
Yeah, Springfield College is going to get complete control of this A site. Their post plan should be pretty solid. It's going to be a 5v3. Hood College is going to have to try really hard to retake this. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it.
You have to think about it. The drop will come through. They're not going to hold up Raptors for too long. Nobody's actually situated inside of Hell either. They're going to hold back mostly towards the A main side. They're going to take some firefights. Dusk will find Ben in the process. 2 players now left. We do actually have Scuba holding below inside of Hell now. Aggressive, however, will find JP and will also take out Mystic. Back to back for another 3K for Aggressive here.
Yeah, I liked what Hood College was trying to do there by switching it up and playing a little more aggressively into A main. They did have 2 players peek it. Unfortunately for them, Springfield had also 2 members peeking A main, and Aggressive Act turning away from the flash and getting the refrag, making it a 2-for-1, which is so huge.
You've got to worry now. You situated yourself initially in a fairly back and back kind of situation, go back and forth with the rounds, but right now you kind of have Springfield coming through into their own. They've taken 4 rounds. They're up ahead by 2. Aggressive Act, who was struggling to get any kills in the first few rounds, has now come back and found 7. That is a threat you have to worry about if you're on the Hood College side.
Yeah, I love what they're doing here. Dusk being playing this lurker on the opposite side of the map that his team in has been so impactful because that's preventing the defenders from pushing out of the opposite side and creating a lot of map space in favor of Springfield College.
fight will engage quickly onto B. There'll be a spray through the wall with the Spectre. JP will actually find Jellies through it, but Aggressive Act will refrag. Dusk will find Little Smudge in the process as well with the Vandal. Mystic will get spotted out over by Pizza, but it doesn't seem to last very long. He'll hold strong within top of mid. Scuba will start the spike placement, and a 2v4 is going to have to be in this retake.
Yeah, another 2v4 retake on this side of Hood College is going to be really difficult. They do have some SMGs, so if I'm them, I'm going to try to be getting some of these rifles out of the hands of Springfield, try to ruin their economy, and maybe even win the round. Effects gets the first kill on the Scuba, but Aggressive Act with another 3K. Cinches that round up just for Springfield.
I'm watching that the entire time in the mini-map. I'm switching over to Aggressive. I know it's coming to that situation. They flanked all the way back through despawn, flanked all the way around to come through, completely just catching them off guard. There's nothing they could do about it. A phenomenal play once again, and like you said, another 3K back-to-back from Aggressive Act.
Yeah, Hood College has to change something up. They haven't won a round since they converted off their pistol win, but they do have 5 ultimates up here. So if I'm Hood College, you need to switch something up. You need to either be playing more defensive crossfires or being able to get more control on this map. But Dusk is making it so hard for these defenders to push out of his sight safely, and they're just getting picked off one by one.
Seems to be another A lobby push, though you do actually have one player, your Viper of Scuba. They're holding out towards Octopus. They're going to head over now to Tile, kind of catch the opposition, see if they go. But you have 2 players in bottom mid that are kind of holding strong for the defensive side. The question is, how aggressive do you want to take the stance? The robot will go out to try to catch some silence, but it won't matter, will be denied. And now you finally have the opposition needing to think about what they want to do. An Open Smoke will come through to cut off the sight line between this arch. And now you have a little bit more extra time bought out for you.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury going to be popped early. Effects, though, gets the opening pick onto Scuba, and the Hunter's Fury doesn't quite find anything, so now it's going to be a 5v4. And Springfield, it looks like they're probably going to keep trying to get some pressure onto this A main.
He's going to go ahead and continue to throw some shock bolts into the back aside, but it will actually tag out the opposition Cypher, but it does not matter. They will not fall in that fight. One player down so far, and you're fighting this out in a 5v4. You have that one player advantage, but that can swiftly change. Puppy push from Effects. It won't matter. Tiki will take that in return, but a refrag. Aggressive will fall. JP finds that. JP on a death row as well as Dusk will clean it up. A cheeky shot from the Phantom down bottom mid. It will be Ben onto Jellies, and it's going to be a switch over seemingly to the B side from the initial A attempt.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2v3. Only 12 seconds left on the clock for Springfield here. They're going to have to make a move relatively quickly. This is going to be a hard angle for Tiki to clear, and Little Smudge takes out Dusk, so it looks like Tiki's just going to save his gun.
Just hold strong. You got really nothing you can do. The recon bolt will try to catch you off guard, but it doesn't matter. Defenders will win off of time. And while you do have some defenders pretty much right next to you, as you can see on the mini-map, they're not going to be able to find you in time. A good save to come through into that one. Not the result you initially anticipated or wanted, but still hold your own. Manage to save that gun, and you have it available for the next round.
Scuba not applying a whole lot of pressure on this Viper on this attacking side. He is going to actually pick up an operator, so maybe he'll be able to get this opening pick. I think the last couple rounds he's gotten picked off first while peeking this really aggressive mid angle. The angle is super long, so having an operator here, Hood College probably won't be expecting this, so I expect to see something happen here.
You know, holding up top mid's not a bad idea, especially when previously when we've seen them hold up in top of this top mid, they've had that Viper wall as a way to cut off so they can take down Catwalk. However, instead, I believe that's aggressive. They're going to cut across from inside the courtyard. One other player as well, your Omen player of Jellies to try and go. The shot will miss from Scuba, and nothing has connected so far, but now the operator is known for the opposition. They're going to be much more wary about picking that angle.
Yeah, Aggressive Act getting a lot of space into this mid. Doesn't quite get the shot onto JP Wyman, but Jelly's also trying to pressure through this pizza area. He finally finds the frag onto Ben Lee, so now it's going to be a 5v4 and opening up this round for Springfield.
Obviously, you have frags that are going back and forth. One-man advantage still for the Springfield side, but you have Jellies, who's quite worse for wear. 16 HP and located by the recon dart. This could be a bad situation if a rush does come to fruition. You have to look out, but Hood College falls with Mystic, and it's going to be Aggressive Axe who finds it, and it's going to be a teleport now. They're going to take a good location. He's going to teleport already to the backside. The Cyber's right nearby, taking the rotation as well with JP to make the rotation all the way back through Defender's side. But the B plant will come to successful fruition. It'll be a hard retake for them to come through.
Yeah, it was a huge frag for Aggressive Act to pick up there. He was down to less than 25% HP, and now he's going to be, overhealed by 6. So now it's going to be a 4v2 in favor of Springfield, and this is going to be a difficult retake for Hood College.
It's already hard enough. Dusk's going to take that aggressive stance down mid with the Odin holding tight. He's got the backline. We already seen this earlier from Aggressive Act, but it won't matter. Dusk and Aggressive Act, the last two to finish him off as Little Smudge and JP will fall. And once again, the attacking side of Springfield College will take another round lead. They're 3 up against Hood College.
Yeah, Hood College hasn't quite figured out how to lock down these sites against Springfield's aggression. Springfield's been playing this map pretty well. They've been alternating between applying pressure A main, B main, and also mid, and they always tend to have at least 1 or 2 players in this mid position. So it's going to make it really difficult for Hood College to get some map control. They do have a Sova though, so they should be able to be getting a little bit more information on at least where Springfield College is not. He'd currently been playing B main. Now he's going to be an A main, so hopefully he's going to be able to spot out this A push.
The A push is definitely one to worry about. They've constantly been doing it, but we do still have that presence over towards Catwalk, which will be open smoked out, cutting off sight lines in at least one capacity. One player hiding out inside Puppy. That's going to be Effects holding strong, trying to catch the opposition, and they make the push. But currently it seems to be from the Springfield side. They're going to rotate back through their attacker side, spawn over towards Octopus to maybe look for the opportunity for a retake of the other objective if they aren't able to make the full send push towards A.
Yeah, Springfield College is going to be up significantly in terms of guns. So if you're a Hood College, I want to see you playing tighter angles with these SMGs, these Stingers. Try to get a pick, try to get some of the guns, and try to switch the momentum just a little bit more because they're down 3 rounds on defense, and this should be their stronger side.
You do have to worry about these tripwires as well. You do see them pushing forward. Binley might get caught off guard from the angle. So he was just barely not missed from that B main hold. It's going to be hard for them to hold on to this. Little Smudge has had his camera destroyed. They knows they're coming for this. You still have 2 players situated nearer on A, and you also still have Effects holding in that Puppy, so the push could come through. Omen teleport to catch a little bit of extra stance. He'll teleport across to the Catwalk, and the fight will engage. Ult will come out now from Raze. They'll try to catch nothing in the process. A missed mistake as they hold next to Switch. Jellies will start the plant on. Binley's on the flank from behind. It will not go down in full, but Binley will lose the firefight against Tiki's Vandal, and it's going to be a full successful plant now and a retake in a 3v5.
Yeah, a little scary there originally from Springfield not getting the plant down. The Raze had a big possibility of shutting that down, but unfortunately she does get taken down by the player in main, and now it's going to be a 4v3, and the gun advantage is still in the favor of Springfield as Aggressive Act takes another kill.
It's not looking good so far for Hood College. They might have to just take this one. Little Smudge will fall to Jellies, and the last player standing of Mystic will fall as well. Aggressive Act finishing off that round strong. You've only lost 1 player, so while your economy already looks phenomenal, you don't have to worry about it that much, especially when you got players on your side that are nearing that $9,000 threshold. There's just not much you have to worry about. But I'm worrying about the side of Hood College. Their economy will not look very good after this next round. They're having a full buy in this round, and the only people that have some substantial currency in their pockets going to be Mystic and Effects, who are not even breaching past 1,000.
This is going to be a really huge round for Hood College. If they don't get the round here, they're going to be going into what could potentially be a 4-8 half, and that's definitely not what you want to see. As you said before, they're going to be broke if they don't win this round, so they need to figure out exactly how to stop this aggression coming out of Springfield and how to shut down Aggressive Act.
Ooh, Hunter will go out. He'll be able to connect and kill. Tiki will find Mystic Shadow. Phenomenal way to start off this round. Hood College not able to deny that in any capacity. 1 player's up on the rafters. That's going to be your Raze to face off against. The nade will try to connect, but it will not do enough. The plant will now come out from Jellies, and the fight from Ben up on top is going to have to find success. 1 player now sitting inside a Hell. That's going to be aggressive, trying to hold strong, but no pushes have actually come through. And when you're looking at the lineup for Hood College, only the Omen of JP has their ult available.
Yeah, and look at how well Dusk is holding down this flank. Cypher's trying to flank through B main, but he's going to run through 2 trips and Dusk himself. Finally, we see Effects creep through the door here. Jellies gets another kill into Ben Lee, though, and they're running out of time to defuse. It's going to be a 4v1 now.
Oh, Dusk will finish that one off on a little smudge. And that round will once again show, like we had talked about previously, that the economy now for Hood College is going to struggle. Most money for the side would have been Effects starting off with 4,100, but everyone else is not really able to full buy in any capacity. And especially when you're not going to have your ults out for this last engagement, like I said previously. Both Omens have their ults available, but those aren't necessarily defining ults, especially if you're on the defensive side.
Hood College really needs to try to get another round here, make it at least 4-8, then there is still some hope for their attacking side. If they go into their half with it being 3-9, they're going to have to struggle a lot. Because if they lose the pistol round, it's basically a lost half for them. So they're going to have to make something change here with these really short-range weapons. But as I say, that Scuba gets taken out by Effects, and it's already a 5v4.
Yeah, one player advantage. Plant's already going down by Jellies. And those Cypher smokes will not make any difference whatsoever. One player pushing downstairs. They'll be spotted out here. They know he's in that position, but the kill will not be successful until Jellies just sprays and continues it to finish off JP. Dusk will take Binley out, and it's going to be a 2v5. Not looking good, but Little Smudge will make it look that much better. Mystic will fall after taking out Aggressive, and a 1v3. He finds Tiki, and now a 1v2 holding near Coward. Little Smudge holding strong, one player in Switch. He knows that the player is there to a degree, and he doesn't have full clues about where it is. The flank around will catch him though, and Jellies will take that round for yet another Springfield College victory.
And that was a valiant attempt by Little Smudge. There's not a whole lot he could do. 1v3, 7 HP, but they do get some frags. So some signs of life coming out of Hood College, but they're really going to have to turn it around on this attacking side.
I mean, obviously, you got to switch it up here. Maybe attack is just your preferred side. When you take a look at Effects coming through into this one, has been doing an exceptional job. Kind of struggled in some of these later rounds in terms of the defensive side, but you could tell had a high level of aggression or wanted to be very aggressive, like Aggressive Act was pulling off, as we know the name also implied. So maybe we could see Effects show some positive effects for his side.
Yeah, Hood College does have 2 duelists, so they do have a lot of entry potential and a lot of potential to make some space onto these sites. They are going to be running into the site that does have Aggressive Act, who's been playing pretty well so far, so it's going to be hard. But if they can take out that Reyna and shut her down and pistol, they have a really good chance of taking this round.
We do see the recon bolt will come through. It's getting shot out fairly quickly, but the Omen smokes will make it that much more difficult for them to step through. It's going to be Aggressive Act. He finds 1 and 2. Jellies finds 2 as well, not wanting to be outdone. And the last player standing of Mystic will just throw the shock bolts in any attempt to stay alive. He's going to bait out in the corner near Octopus. The shots from in between mid will not matter. Tiki, though, he will have fallen to the bolts from Mystic, so he does get 1 exit frag in the process.
Yeah, beautiful crossfire being set up there by Aggressive Act and Jellies. That's what you want to see if you're playing with the Reyna. Reyna's a very feast and famine champion. It does look like we're gonna have a game pause though coming out, so pretty good for in the side of Hood College. You really want to slow down the momentum that Springfield College has. Springfield's won the last 5 rounds, so Hood College needs to switch something up. If I were them, it looks like they actually are going to go for a forced buy here, which is going to be, I think, definitely the right call. Because if you're going to give up this round, which is probably your closest round to win, it's going to be really bad for them on this attacking side.
Like you said, 5 rounds back to back, and immediately when you take a look at the Hood College, they won the first 2, had a good start coming through with it, got 5 rounds put against them back to back, 1-1, and then another 5 rounds. So if they're going to follow the already precedent set in place, they may be able to take this one despite having to force. So I'm a little bit worried about their economy though, because if they lose this one out, then they don't really have much to fall back on or any at all to fall back on. It's just going to be another, you're kind of putting yourself in the rear because you're going to have to continue to force. Otherwise, it's just going to swiftly become match point and eventually you're going to lose it out. So the question in place is forcing this round the right choice, or will it come back to bite them in the end?
Yeah, definitely a tough call to make if you're Hood College. I think in this situation, probably the right call. What they've been doing hasn't been working. They've been playing their econ game relatively safely. They haven't been doing a lot of forced desperation buys. I think this is the round to pull it out. If you can make it 4-10, damage a little bit of the Springfield momentum, this game's going to be a lot closer. But as you said, it's going to be so risky for them. If they lose this round or even lose a lot of their guns on the side of their force, they're going to have a really hard time taking the next 2 rounds.
And we do see the pause timer does go off, so we will get this one underway. But Aggressive's going to hold. Initially, we saw towards market, towards mid, but I think they're actually going to take the aggressive stance towards B main. So an interesting decision. They're just constantly going back and forth, having a large variety. No one seems to want to go to top mid as he's going to hold bottom, but it does look like a very varied stance coming from the attacking side of Hood College. If you take a look at the mini-map, they've got a very varied stance. They've got players in every direction. They seem to have most of them focused towards B, but they do have their Cypher player over there situated in a fairly good position towards A, and has the tripwire in place to maybe stop a rush.
Yeah, Hood College playing a sort of default right now. An interesting choice considering they have a lot of short-range weapons. I see that Scuba misses the first headshot. Oh, but gets some chip damage actually down onto Effects. Not going to be the end of the world, though, if you're Effects, but it doesn't look like Springfield College is going to take the bait and push out of any of these mains, and it looks like we're going to see Hood College do a 4-man rush through B main.
He actually got tagged through a wall there. We see Effects that's a little bit lower. He will have to heal himself up. A lot of smokes had to be placed over towards the B site, and there will be a player that's going to be Dusk heading through mid, as we do see right here. Mystic will find Scuba from up top on Catwalk. He's holding a positive angle, but it won't matter. Ben finds the tap, and he's going to take Dusk out for the count, but it won't matter. Aggressive Axe finds JP just before the smoke gets set in place. Tiki finds onto Effects with a shotgun, and it's going to be a 3v3. A nice shot from Aggressive through window will find Mystic, and they're not going to let this go without a fight.
Yeah, Little Smudge picks up Jellies. It's now going to be a 2v2. Aggressive Act is still alive with this Marshall, already getting 2 kills on it, and the timer's running down for Hood College.
Time is very running there. The plant will seem to go down here. They're going to finish this one off. One player in hell. Aggressive will find it onto Ben, and now you're just left with one man standing of Little Smudge. He'll fake out Aggressive Act, and now Tiki holding up top. He's going to go for the shot. Be camera that's going to spot him out. It will tag him as well. The location from that dart will give him away for quite a while. Nothing he can really do about the situation. Peeking to the side, his location may be known. He does not care at all. He steps forward and it doesn't go in his direction. Little Smudge finds 3 to give themselves a victory here for their 4th. And just like I said, the precedent will continue. They lost 5, 1-1, lost 5, and 1-1. Sadly, that means they're going to lose 5 more back-to-back.
Aggressive Act with that Marshall, picking up 3 kills, and when Hood College had finally taken him out, making it a 1v1, Hope looked like it was in the hands of Hood College, but just a beautiful play from Springfield there. They held it down so well. Now they're going to have 3 or 4 rifles on their side, and they're going to be going up against 5 SMGs from Hood College.
This is not where you want to be. I mean, obviously, it's where you want to be if you're Springfield, but it's not where you want to be if you're Hood. You did manage to pull that one out, but really the most that you can handle in this is just a bunch of SMGs in pocket. And I think you mentioned about this earlier. They have received a bit of a nerf. I mean, I don't know too much about that if you want to talk about it, but it will significantly change how SMG rounds are played out.
Yeah, the Stinger got nerfed pretty dramatically. The last patch is going to be worth, as I say that, Jellies gets taken out, so now it's going to be a 5v4, but the Stinger is going to be a worse gun, so we're not going to see as many of them, and they have to go with the Spectre buy, and the Spectres are paying off. They get the first kill on the Jellies, and another kill into Aggressive Act. It's now a 4v3.
Sides being hold down, LMG in place. They're trying to keep him at bay inside market, but JP will just take the aggressive stance and step inside. The question still remains, will they find the picks? Tiki takes out Little Smudge, but Mystic will get the refrag back on. Plant can go down, the spike can go down. Dusk is in a good position however. He stepped into market. They have a play, and you've got your supporting player of Scooper pretty close by. That bolt's not going to be able to find any success in terms of actually scouting. But the play is still in motion. One player hiding next to Switch inside. You got two players holding inside a boathouse, one holding deep inside of the corner pockets. They have to step up. One will get spotted in the process. Dusk will take out Ben, and Dusk is on side. 2 players in the back. One will get absolutely spotted out. It'll be taken in tow by that, and it'll be a rush through. JP finds Dusk. Shots connected. Scuba will finish it off on a JP. They'll take that round and full finish that defuse.
Springfield Scuba, their lowest fragging player this whole game, clutches up there, making this a 4-11 game in favor of Springfield College. Beautiful gunplay there, and a beautiful communication and teamwork coming out of Dusk and Scuba playing off each other on that 2v3 retake.
And you got to think about it, who better to fight off somebody in that situation? You have two players that you really, or two agents you really want to fight on your team against players situated inside a boathouse. It's going to be your Viper and your Soma. And while you did lose Tiki in the engagement right at the last second, Scuba definitely found the kill, throwing in the Toxic and really removing one of those players from the situation. So good, smart tactics, being able to bait the player out. Unfortunately, you do lose one extra player, but your economy's not that much worse for wear. So you're still going to have a fairly good situation, but arguably your weapons may be a little worse than the opposing sides.
Yeah, the economy of both teams right now is pretty funny. Both of them are really playing for the end game. So we see a lot of kind of mixed buys. We see a couple of SMGs. We see some Ares amongst some rifles. So mixed gun rounds coming out of both sides, pretty equal in terms of just pure amount of credits spent. So this round's going to be pretty close and still a chance for Hood College to come back into this.
It's a good situation. Jellies is going to hold fairly strong with the Guardian in tight a market. He can cut open that archway to kind of deny any push coming through, but when you take a look at Hood College, they've got a good situation. They're going to want to try to take this mid push. They smoked off of the bottom mid, and they can step across over to Catwalk to really give them the chance to head towards A, but those players on A have not actually moved, but Effects will move. He'll take Tiki out, and it's a 4v5 here with 48 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a hard push onto A. Most of Springfield had already actually left the A site, so Hood should be able to take this for pretty much free. It's gonna be a 4v3 in favor of Hood College. This is their round to lose.
Well, plant will go down, officially in play for them. They have the advantage, and now you're going to have to worry if you're Springfield College for this retake. Two players sitting inside of Hell. Well, they expect both of them to be situated there. One in tree as well, and another all the way situated towards the lobby of A. However, Omen Smokes will go on site. A Viper Wall will go through as well. They're trying to play Raptors up fairly successfully, but the players in Hell could make that devastating. Scuba will find onto Mystic. A player will jump down through it. He'll know the players down below, but JP will win the engagement. Up top's gonna be the Cypher who falls. That's Dusk and a little smudge. Scuba finds one, but he will not find the other as Ben will finish off that round. And I may have said they set the precedence for 5 losses back-to-back, but obviously they can still do it. So it's gonna be a 5-11 scoreline, which may just seem like a small bit of a pat on the back so far into this one, but we could see a complete rerun of them coming through.
Yeah, really impressive by Hood College right now, coming back into this game, getting another round win, making it 5-11. They do have 4 ultimates available, a 5th if they can raise this ultimate orb in B main. So they're going to be in a pretty good situation to win this round. Looks like Springfield College is going to be on a pretty full save here. One Marshall coming out on their side. So this should be a pretty easy round for Hood College to convert on.
Who seems to be coming towards B itself. B main will be taking pretty aggressively. Effects, the man I spoke about earlier, taking that aggressive stance on the defense, will opt to do it as well on the offense. Ult will come through. He's going to have that ability to take more than one in the process. He has the backline of the player on stairs. He hasn't found any yet. He will not find any at all. It'll be Ben who finds it, so a wasted ult in that regard, but you do still have the B objective taken.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming out of FX's ultimate there. I think the spray down came through the smoke to take out Tiki, which is super unfortunate for Tiki, but beautiful shot again by Ben Lee, getting 2 kills already. It's now going to be a 5v3, and Springfield College is going to have to retake with pretty limited weaponry.
And you have 2 players situated near market, one actually coming from the defender spawn. An ult will come out as well, holding on. It'll launch and find. Jellies will fall. Scuba has fallen to Effects in return as well. Last man standing of Dusk is going to have to try to find an exit here. He only has the pistol in hand to try to find anything. He knows it's going to be a lost cause, but he's going to step through the smoke, maybe cut to the back line. He has the backup. The Omen, he goes for the shot. He finds JP, but it's not going to matter. The bomb will connect him, and it will take it out in tow. Attackers will win yet another round back-to-back.
A really important win there for College. They needed that round. If they lost that, it would have been very bad for their economy. So now it's going to be a 6-11. There is going to be a full gun round coming out of the side of the defenders in Springfield College. So that's good to know, but really a good step up from Ben Lee these last couple of rounds, getting some really high impact entry frags and opening up a lot of space for Hood's attacking side.
Tiki opting to bring out the Guardian here. He's played this one. We've seen this already before in terms of the holdover on the B site. It didn't necessarily find rapid success. We'll see what they'll be capable of going into this one. They have found 12 so far. Of course, that doesn't really compare to Aggressive's 21, like you had spoken about previously, dropping 20 bombs. Has not failed in that regard, and that's definitely been one of the reasons for the fights going their way. Little smudge, an aggressive spot around corner, but Scuba's there to refrag. Dusk will find JP, and it's going to be Aggressive Act. The player I was just speaking about to find a effects all the way over on B side, and a complete dismantlement from the Hood College side as Springfield will deny any chance of them taking that easily.
Yeah, Hood College losing the bomb, the Viper Molly coming out is going to be so difficult for Hood College to come back on. Ben Lee, though, has the angle, but the Viper ultimate's going to be coming down around the spike, so Ben Lee and Mystic Shadow are going to be at a 2v5, and they don't have spike.
Oh my goodness, what a way to deny that even further. No chance for quite a period of time now, as Azult's just going to sit themselves in a very nice position. It won't last forever, however, so you're probably about 35 seconds of time that you can take the aggressive stance forward. They'll go ahead and jump in, it won't matter. Jellies will find it on the cross, and they're not gonna go on the aggressive stance. They have the chance. He's gonna ult here. He won't find any, however. Dusk will wide swing and find him out. A flawless victory now for Springfield College, not letting those, 2 rounds back to back get to them too highly.
Definitely the right call from Springfield there to use the Viper ultimate on that bomb. If you win that round, if you can secure that round, that takes you to match point, and then your Viper ultimate decreases in value once you win the game, right? There's still 4 ultimates left on the side of Springfield College. You want to see them using these ultimates to secure this game for them. A valiant attempt by Ben Lee and Mystic Shadow to try to retake that spike. They do have the economy to mostly full buy, so not the worst call in the world, but unfortunately it is going to put them onto match point.
A very, very dangerous situation if you are a Hood College. Play this as tactically as you can, but it won't seem to matter. Effects will fall in Aggressive Act, who takes the aggressive stance inside of B main. Will continue that stance forward. Jellies is coming to support as well. Will take Mystic in tow. Aggressive takes the stance backwards with the Emperor still popped and ready. Question remains, you only have 2 players left for Hood College. How are you going to play this one out? Do you just pray you'll find out the picks, or you're going to actually do this one up? Ben Lee will throw the bottle bat towards B main, and the fight will engage inside of middle. Shots connecting, the Hunter will go off. It'll actually find, but Aggressive Act will swing and find the last onto Ben, and it'll be Springfield College taking that one in a 13-6 scoreline.
Yeah, very convincing win coming out of Springfield College there. They played phenomenally, especially their attacking side. They felt a little shaky towards the beginning of that defensive half, but came back super strong. Aggressive Act, racking up 24 kills. The next highest player in the game getting 15 on the Cypher.
I mean, it's one thing to drop 24 kills as a player. It's another thing to drop 24 kills with only 9 deaths. I mean, yeah. What are you doing in this stance, Aggressive Act? Completely uncontested. I mean, if you aren't looking, Aggressive Act, if you aren't looking to go onto a team already, show out in some of these more. Find yourself a team after you get out of college, or maybe even with some of your teammates you already have good chemistry with, and attempt to go further into this one. College is a great place to set yourself up for success in the future for esports.
Aggressive Act looking so strong. There was a little bit of criticism when he continued to play Reyna after the nerfs, but obviously it doesn't seem to matter. Aggressive Act is so efficient at using his utility. We saw a lot of that, the opposite coming out of effects without using his flashes, but it looks like we're going to head to a 5-minute break, so we'll catch you back for match 2 of Springfield College versus Hood College.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
Welcome back, everybody. This is NECC Esports. My name is Infernosis, joined here by the wonderful Alice. And we've got a great matchup. We've had Springfield College versus Hood College. We just played over on map 1, and it went entirely in favor of Springfield. They took that one in a 13-6 on Ascent. Now, we're going to head over to a new map. We're actually going to head over to Haven, I believe. And you love this map, Alice.
I am a big Haven enjoyer. I love the fact that there's 3 sites and it allows for the defenders to play really creatively. You can have a lot of players pushing out of A or C main. You have a lot of flanks, a lot of lurking. I am a big Haven enjoyer.
Now, we talked about this previously, but like B site for this map's just, I mean, you'll see it like 3 out of like 30 rounds, right? It's not very common in terms of play, but one thing that I definitely know as in my time playing way back when and recently is the fact that ciphers have had a really high presence on this map because you can kind of place and forget. You'll place a 3-2 kind of split on your defensive side on C and B and just let your cipher camera sit in A as an extra player and just play for retakes on that site. So there's a lot of interesting strategies in place that you can do for this map, but the question still remains, will all of it be for naught if Aggressive Act just continues to play in this aggressive stance he's had so far?
Yeah, Aggressive Act looking super strong tonight, already going 24-9 on this first Ascent game. Their attack side looked so dominant on the side of Springfield College, and Hood College wasn't really able to adapt for it. To be fair, and to give them some hope for Hood College fans, Haven is a different map. It plays differently, whereas Ascent has to do a lot with getting mid control and getting information. Haven has 3 sites. That means defense is going to be a little bit harder. That means their attacking side has a better chance of succeeding, especially if you're playing a champion like Reyna. Not a whole lot of utility to slow down these aggressive pushes. So some hope left for Hood College. I hope we see some more Sovas coming out on this map. Maybe a Jet pick if I'm super lucky. I miss seeing my operators, but it's going to be a pretty fun match between these 2 colleges.
I mean, Jet is such a prominent agent in general, right, though? I mean, the ultimate in hand with the daggers, being able to refresh that on a kill every time. You see that so prominently on this map as well for a lot of high-level players coming through. I know 100 Thieves loves to rock Jet, so, and both FaZe does as well. It's one thing I've taken into note. I think we will see that actually come through in play, but the question that I have to think about here, since attackers have a little bit more of an advantage because defenders have to defend across 3 sites, is how is Hood College, who struggled on their defensive side, going to hold out against the assault from Springfield?
Yeah, that is a good question. Hood College is going to have to change up a little bit of how they play. They need to either establish more crossfires on the sites that they are holding with multiple players, or they're going to have to figure out how to pressure Springfield College on their attack. Hood College couldn't get a lot of map control on their defense, so even though they had a Sova, they were getting shut down by the Cypher who was just holding their flank, and they weren't able to really make anything happen on their defensive side. Haven, though, new map, new life. We are going to see the Killjoy actually coming out for Hood College, so a little bit of a change. I'm excited to see what they do here.
Yeah, we talked a little bit on Killjoy previously. I know we also spoke about it a little bit in terms of the break as well, about, you know, Cypher versus Killjoy, and both kind of filling some of the same role in terms of cutting off and having sightlines and visibility and watching flank watch. And as somebody that comes from R6, where you actually have to dedicate an entire player just to watching your flanks so rummers don't catch you off guard, I think some players from R6 could find great successes playing as some of these agents just in the terms that it is. And when you think about Valorant, you're thinking CSGO and Overwatch had a child and it comes out to this phenomenal game. No, it's still got that tactical-based level that you do see in other games. And while you're seeing CSGO old pros coming to Valorant and Overwatch pros coming into Valorant, I'd love to see some R6 pros come over to Valorant as well. Gameplay's gunplay is entirely different, but the strategy that's behind it, I feel like some R6 players could definitely find some rapid success. But we take a look at the lineup here. We do actually see the Jet come through. That's Tiki picking that one up.
I'm so excited. I was talking a little bit before. I love seeing Jet. I love seeing these operators. Interesting, though, Springfield College not using a Sentinel on this map. Could be something that could be abused by Hood College, especially on their attacking side. Even on your defense is Springfield College. That means it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to leave one Sentinel player on C or A with their utility and hold the site down. So let's see if Hood College can punish them for it, or if Springfield College is just going to dominate on this attacking side.
We do have to worry about how the defensive hold will be. What's your lineup? Are you going to situate more than one? Like, how many people are you putting on each objective? Where are you trying to place it around? Currently looking at it, you do have them kind of just going all over the place. You've got one situated directly on A, two on B, one on C. And if you look at the attacking side, trying to decide what they want to do, it looks like they are going to push up C. And they're also going to have a little bit of a dance here with the octopus and have a little bit of good time with some of their sprays. But this C hold's going to be very difficult. But you do have one player holding inside of that garage window. That could be a great way to deny that push that we see might also come through in this split.
Springfield definitely needs to be very mindful about their flanks since they're not going to be using a sentinel. They need to have a player or two watching these flanks. It looks like they are going to push in directly into this Killjoy utility though. So hopefully they get them out. But Scuba actually takes down the Killjoy and now they have garage control as well.
A hard push now. Little Smudge will toss the nade down below, but a fireball will be dropped as well. The Molly will keep him in a bad situation. Scuba will get in the plant as well. So you're already a player down and needing to do this retake, and nobody's really got good guns. You're just kind of rocking the normal pistol sort of lineup. You do have one SMG pistol in the hands of Dusk. He will have a little bit of an advantage in some of these shorter-term fights, but the fight will go both directions. Effects will take Jellies, who just got the kill onto Little Smudge. A recon bolt will come out. It will actually catch the player of Effects off guard. Sorry, yes, it is Effects. I can't read his name at this range. But the fight will continue on the objective. A push coming from the defender side spawn. Mystic will find Dusk. Effects finds Tiki, but Scuba will refrag back out Mystics. JP falls to Aggressive Act, and the last man standing of Effects will just kind of play the last seconds, finding Scuba, and he will not find Aggressive Act. I was really hoping Effects would pop off there.
Yeah, a valiant attempt for Ethics there and trying to do some damage control on the defensive pistol round. But we were talking about it before. Not having a sentinel means that they did put Tiki on this flank watch, and Effects was able to just go 1-for-1 and then ended up picking up a 3K. So pretty good run from Effects, not quite enough to push them over the edge. Now Springfield's gonna have their first pistol run up. They're gonna buy out here, and they should be able to convert this into round 2.
It's going to be a hard defensive hold from the lineup right now, but where they're positioning, it looks like they're going to focus towards a lobby, but the question is, how will they split? Will they all force up towards a ramp? Are they going to head over to short? We'll have to see how it plays out, but currently sitting inside of a lobby, they'll take out the recon bolt, throw the drone out for information, and it does seem to be a split. Most of them taking the short route. You do have one player holding down that flank watch, and your Jet's going to hold out long. 3 players actually ready to hold the site itself. Omen's going to make his way up. He's going to head towards the actual tunnel section. Meanwhile, you have the push coming onto site. Jellies finds 2 on a JP and Mystic, and it's going to be a 3v5 situation. Now as Aggressive will begin to bait out and decide whether or not to actually put the spike down. Spike will be getting planted. Players deciding whether or not to step through tunnel. This retake's going to be that much more difficult.
I love Aggressive Act and Jellies playing off each other's flashes there. They throw out 3 flashes to take the site, but Little Smudge takes out Aggressive Act with just a classic, and Effects gets another kill into Dusk, and a 4K coming on the side of Jellies, and pretty convincing round coming out of Springfield.
Jellies finding 4. The 5K ace being denied, however, being taken by a teammate. You know, if I'm Jellies, I'm not that mad in that situation. Right? It's not a big deal. I mean, just coming out 2 rounds back-to-back already. I mean, Hood College did that to you guys the game before, so already starting off here, taking the first 2. You got yourself in a different situation. Now, you ultimately won the game before, but now you're starting off and saying, hey, we won't let that happen again. We're going to take it all the way through. We're not going to let it go, and that's what they're showing off here immediately on this attacking side. The question is, how will they react in terms of defense as they finally do have a fairly good arsenal under their belt?
This round is going to have an advantage for Hood College just in terms of weaponry. There are going to be a lot of SMGs coming out of the side of Springfield College as they make their way into this garage. They're going to want to go relatively fast to try to pressure these longer range weapons as Jelly hopefully clears his corner, but doesn't quite get the kill on a Little Smudge, and now it's going to be a 1-for-1.
Ooh, Little Smudge will fall, however. The Molly was not able to find enough, but Tiki will find 2. A 3v4 now as the spike will begin to be planted, but the player that's over in spawn, it's going to be Effects finding Scoop out, tying it back, but it doesn't seem to matter. Aggressive Act will find one with the Sheriff, but Mystic Shadow will find it in tow with the Phantom. And the fight will have to engage on the objective itself in a 2v2. They're going to Molly out the opposite side of the bomb itself. Push will come through. Effects will fall to Aggressive Act on the double peak, and your last man standing is looking not so hot. 20 HP to Mystic's name, and he's just going to take a small step back, just play an exit. He's going to hold on to this gun to make sure their economy's not completely in shambles.
This is a rough start for Hood College. They fought out almost completely on this round, all 5 of them rather, getting rifles. And on the other hand, Springfield College Most of them had SMGs, and Aggressive Act actually started out this round with the Sheriff. So upgrading to the Vandal, they now got 2 guns for that. They won the bonus round, and now it's going to be 3 rounds on the side of Springfield College, and Hood College isn't going to have the economy to really counter them.
I mean, they do have the one gun in hand, the one that Mystic was able to hold out and save, but you don't really have anything to build around that. The question stands, do you just play with the classics? Do you soft buy and build some SMGs around? They have decided to. They're going to rock out some shotties, they're going to rock out a sniper, and they're going to bring out another SMG to back it up. So they have forced around it for a semi-buy. They're going to try and eco out the opposition. But currently at the moment, when you take a look at the Springfield side, they are looking phenomenal in their weapon arsenal with an operator in the hands of Tiki as well. It's going to be that much harder for them to come through with this one.
And the running back already coming out, and Jellies gets the first kill into effect. It's going to be a 5v4. There's still 3 ultimates left up on the side of Springfield. So even though Mystic Shadow is kind of owl drone, he's going to get caught in the mall, and he has to cancel it immediately.
Not a good situation. Once again, they just completely forced their way up a short, and they're going to take control of the objective quite swiftly. Spike will have been planted. 2 players holding inside of Heaven, 2 inside of the actual A tunnel, and it's going to be a bad situation. Aggressive's holding below in Hell, and you've got a couple sitting in pocket. They have the flank watch in play. 2 players inside of A long and 1 in A short to hold out, but they have no one over there. The entire defensive hold and presence going to be the opposite side. The Rays will try to bounce in, but it won't matter. Tiki finds JP. Ben on a double kill, but it won't matter. He'll be shut down, and Tiki will take the last as well onto Mystic. Another round successful win for the attacking side.
Springfield is looking so strong and so confident on this attacking side, getting 4 rounds in a row. If you're Hood College, you need to do some type of mental reset. You just lost the game before pretty convincingly. You're now down 4 rounds. Defensive side should be a side that they should strive on. They do have the Sentinel, they do have a Sova, they should be able to be getting some more information. So in this gun round, you really expect to see Hood College step it up here and switch the momentum back into their favor.
You definitely need that momentum switch. You finally can have some good guns in hand. You can actually hold yourself and hold your own, but from the aggressive stance we saw come from Springfield on that last push, they have a lot of knowledge, and they're going to continue to use it to find the advantage. A firefight between the 2 players, 1 in courtyard and 1 actually inside of B, taking the stance. Will go both directions, both taking a wee bit of damage, but a close player inside of garage will be caught out, flashed out, but they'll still win the fight. Little Smudge finding 2 where 2 should not have been had, and now Springfield finally taking the butt end of that engagement, and they're 2 players down in a 5v3.
I said Hood College had to change something up, and Lil Smudge getting a 2 kill in a 2v1 situation, definitely switching it up. Pretty low HP, but that's going to be a 5v3 in favor of Hood College, so this should be their round.
Looking very good. He's just watching the drone, knows it's there. Effects holding in a cheeky spot, aware of his own position, just holding his own, trying to buy a little bit of time. If he can just catch a player off guard, not die, not lose that extra bit of economy, he'll be in a good position. But he aims up a little bit too much. Maybe that barrel will show itself a little bit too much, and maybe you'll see that Brim over in the corner actually seeing him get spot out because he's holding that garage doors at the moment. But nothing too aggressive hatching. We might actually see Springfield just kind of waiting it out and just kind of deciding what to do as time passes. Nothing aggressively has come forward. That may just be because you've actually lost aggressive act in your initial engagement.
Springfield College, they do have some very expensive guns in their hands. They have an Operator and an Odin, the 2 most expensive guns in the game. But as I say, that Effects takes out Dusk, takes the Odin, so they're not going to quite be able to keep that. They should be able to keep the Operator, though. Not going to have enough time to plant A. Just trying to rotate out, try to save some guns. I was actually going to say, before Springfield College lost this round, I liked what they were doing of switching up how they were attacking the sites. The last couple of rounds, they were just rushing onto A or to C, getting entry frags and then winning. And then this round, they went for a more defaulty style, playing 2 garage, 1A, 1C, but they did get punished for it, just kind of sloppy gunplay, pushing into that garage.
Absolutely. Just strategies all over the board. I spoke about them seeming to have information that they shouldn't be, and that's just entirely because they were aware, they knew the economy. It's just good game sense to know and have a general idea of what your opponent is going to do and really capitalizing on that one. But what they didn't expect was that the flash player would still find 2 in garage. Just wasn't solid enough of a flash, and now it's going to be another attempt from them to try to push it. Their economy is still very well, and they have a good idea of coming forward to this one, but they need to get the first initial pick, which they were unable to do in the round before.
And the showstopper is going to come out and does find aggressive act. Now it's going to be a 5v4, and the top frag on the side of Springfield College is taken out, and the off shot's going to miss.
a bad engagement to have, completely denying that push, and JP will completely deny Jelly's been finding Dusk, and it's another 5v2. 2 players left standing. You've got your Jet situated. They both have their ult, so they may actually decide to put that out, but the smarter decision here would just be play safe, continue to hold those. You have an operator in hand, and there is no chance you want to waste that economy at this point in time, so they're going to continue to stay safe towards the attacker spawn, but the flank that can come through from Effects, who's already making their way and prowling down, could be detrimental to their side.
Yeah, I'm a little confused right now by this choice to kind of hold onto this operator in the hands of Tiki. Springfield College is going triple duelist, so that means their executes should be pretty free. It should be very easy for them to make pressure and make their way onto the site, and I wonder if putting Tiki on this operator pick on attack is just slowing down their pushes a lot. Tiki's not finding a lot of entries. As I say that, Tiki proves me wrong, gets to come a little smudge, says I'm the best operator in the server, you can go away.
Scuba will fall, and Tiki not able to find the next shot. It was actually kind of a close shot, but the Killjoy ult as well will go out here. And it's going to be an interesting situation. I'm not really sure why Ben popped that at this stage. Could have been more useful in a round, going forward. But, nonetheless, they take that round. They brought it back 2 rounds back-to-back, giving them a good situation. And they have an operator in hand. Tiki will force the operator again in this round. And they are going to be not looking so hot if they lose this round in terms of their economy. So, Springfield definitely need to win this round if they want to be able to continue to force themselves going forward.
3 ults up on the side of Springfield College. This should be a pretty good round for them. They do not have to run it back, so it's going to be a little more difficult to enter the site than it otherwise would be if they had it. But Tiki has knives, Aggressive Act has Empress. There's a lot of work that they can do here, but the Dark Cover is going to slow down their push a little and stall this operator.
When you think about those knives in hands of any Jet player in general, they're devastating to try and deal with, and it's going to be one you have to definitely keep your eye out for. Dusk is as well coming up on his ult in tow. Knives will come out from Tiki, however. They're going to be up top, finding the top of Binley, and it's going to go again. They now have the advantage with 1 player up. He'll pull back out the operator, but JP will pull Jellies out of this match, and it'll swiftly be tight again. Dusk finding off JP. He'll have his ult now officially charged, but the nade will find success. Lil Smudge will take it after Tiki denies his teammates, and ult will come out, a charge on top. The orbital strike will damage but not actually finish off any kills, and this up top Heaven player holding strong with the operator in hand will need to find success, but it'll be Little Smudge who finds it first. He'll take out Dusk, and now you're in a bad spot. Position known, and Scuba will take it as Aggressive Act finishes it off on a Little Smudge.
Beautiful entry frags coming out of Tiki here, popping Blade Storm, getting the first pick and then getting the second with the op. He does inevitably fall, but it doesn't matter. Aggressive Act, able to get some frags out, picks up the operator, and that's another round going the way of Springfield College.
When you look at the current lineup again, that's what they needed. Springfield College needed to win that for their economy to stay intact. And you do still have probably 1 more round for the opposition of Hood to be able to stay intact. Both sides could probably take a round negative here to be able to still buy the next. But Jellies is not looking so hot for his economy. He has $200, but the next lowest person in his squad has $2,500. So someone will actually have to buy him out, which would kind of put them in a bit of a negative situation, making them in a little bit of a debt if they're not able to bring his personal economy a little bit higher.
Yeah, Springfield College going for a little bit of a default this round, playing this round a little slower, trying to gather some info. There is actually only 1 player from Hood College on this A site, if that's where Springfield College ends up wanting to go. But getting that ultimate orb onto Phoenix is so huge, and Tiki gets the kill onto Bentley. It's now going to be a 5v4. The Hood defense rotation is going to be late, and the running back's going to bring them onto the site completely free.
That is the second time that we've seen Ben fall as the first person, but the ultimate will come out there. It will get traded, but it means the ultimate's down. No kill will be found, but Dusk will find it instead. JP will fall, but he'll get flanked from behind. Effects will find onto the top of Dusk. And now a 4v3 situation. Jelly is watching the back line. Wary of a flank that could come through. Doesn't seem to be any players actually in that situation. Most all of the defenders heading in from their own D-sided spawn. But a push now from Little Smudge. They'll take the A tunnel and try to catch the opposition. They now know 1 is entirely inside of Hell. They'll toss a nade for it. The eye will make that much more difficult to push forward.
At 4v3, the firewall is going to come out. They're going to push them right onto this site, but Aggressive Act gets the first kill into Effects. It's now going to be a 4v2. Tiki takes out Little Smudge. 4v1, Mystic Shadow, a rifle and a drink. Gets a headshot to Aggressive Act, but does get traded up by Jellies. It's another round going to Springfield College.
A rifle and a dream. And that's exactly what that was. He did find one, but that's really all you could ask for in that situation. No time to defuse at that, Pants. No chance at all. Just trying to ruin the economy a little bit more for the opposing side. Make it a little bit odd in that regard, and that's exactly what they tried to do, and we're fairly successful in. But in this round, Ben, who's been struggling so far into this one, who has been getting picked off as the first person the last 2 rounds alone, is going to have to force by the Spectre despite having a little bit of extra pocket change. Not wanting to ruin their economy too much. He'll not opt for the assault rifle, but will instead opt for that SMG in pocket. Recon Bolt will be taken out, but it will actually spot. He has the information, will find it. Scuba takes that one with a Hunter's Fury right onto Little Smudge, giving them the man advantage already going into this one.
It's gonna be a 5v4, and not a single member of the Hood College defense is actually pushing any of their sites. They have no map control. Springfield has the entirety of the map to play with. They have their players watching flanks, but it doesn't really matter because Hood College isn't punishing them for not having a sentinel. They're not pushing out. They're playing like they're scared, and now Springfield College is just gonna get the plant onto C, and it's gonna be pretty difficult for Hood College to retake.
Scuba will finish off the spike being planted. Another ult will come through from the opposing, and it'll be a rush. He'll find one, will step away from it. Ben will have found Dusk in the process, but you're still 2-man up here. JP will remove the recon bolt, but he will have gotten spotted out initially. He's going to have to hold this one out. Ben will take Jellies out, giving a 1-man advantage, switching out to the Phantom off of the Spectre and play. And now finally a 2v3. JP is going to head in from garage, drop out the window, and step forward. We'll go for to smoke off the actual log. Stepping on, but aggressive is there, and they're in a good position. Spotted out. It's an operator taking the shot. He'll find one, but aggressive will take the frag in return. 3 kills again from aggressive act. Name a more dynamic couple. 3 Ks and aggressive act.
Definitely true. As a Reyna player, you do want to see him picking up these multi-kills, and he really has been delivering. I also want to give some credit to Tiki, though. Tiki on this jet, I was a little skeptical about his operator play. Didn't seem like it was worth the credits. He couldn't find these opening frags, but ever since I called him out, been getting these entry picks, providing a lot of pressure, and it's Hood College is so scared to peek any of these longer angles because they know Tiki has the operator in his hands, and they're going to have to switch something up, or else this is going to be another like 3-9 defense side, and that's not what they want to see.
Yeah, Tiki picking up the operator. I was skeptical as well, but taking massive use of the updrafts and utility in terms of moving up to higher locations, completely catching the opposition off guard, but a short push will come onto A. Ben, luckily still alive as he manages to step away. No one has died yet, but damage has been done on both sides. He'll manage to fall, though. Ben will get taken out by aggressive act. Support coming from effects, but Jellies will get the refrag. JP finding Jellies in tow, but aggressive act will finally fall from Mystic. Tiki long range with the operator to JP. BC, Little Smudge finding, but he'll die as Mystic tries to clean back up onto Scuba. A 1v1. Mystic pulls out the arrow. He's going to get caught off to the side because he turns the wrong way as Tiki finishes that one off.
Tiki clutching it up with the operator. It's not exactly the weapon you want in a 1v1, but stays pretty controlled, doesn't panic with the recon dart coming out, and secures that win. Another round going to Springfield College. It's now going to be 8-2.
We talked about consistency. We had seen it before with Springfield College winning 4 or 5, and then, 1 being won by Hood, then 5, then 1 being won by Hood. And this time it's 4-2-4. So maybe Hood will come back with 2 rounds back-to-back to continue that one going. Currently, from what we're seeing, however, if they had to semi-buy the round previously, this one is basically all the marbles. Their economy in shambles. They're pulling a 2008 in this situation, and they definitely do not want to be sitting in this spot.
Hood College does have 3 ultimates available. They are pretty high impact ultimates, but the running back actually is going to be coming out from Jellies again. Going to make so much pressure onto this A site, and Hood College basically gave it up. The running back took out his knife, not quite the best play there, but does get some info onto where the defenders are playing. But the site should be pretty free, though there is going to be a pretty complete rotate from Hood College, but Springfield does have 2 people flanking through B, and they get the first pick on no effect.
Dusk completely removing effects from, but he'll be taken out in the refrag from Little Smudge. Tied back in a 4v4, but Tiki with the operator is going to continue to hold that heaven angle. Aggressive act, though, will be the secondary flanker that's going to catch them off guard. He'll take the opposition in tow, but Ben will take the refrag. Jellies will fall in a 3v3 situation. They've gone back and forth, tit for tat for these engagements, but the ult now from Killjoy. They're going to try and lock him in place to deny. It's going to secure a little bit of extra time for their side as we do see Scuba with that that spike rotating, but Aggressive Act playing that aggression in mid will find Mystic, and it's going to be a semi-B-hole. Jet, Tiki not in a good position, playing the operator, knows the players there. Aggressive Act with the 3K once again to find JP, but Tiki will finish it off, and Ben will fall to give another attacking round win.
Really well played by Springfield College. They have been conditioning Hood College into expecting the same way that their A take normally is that they're throwing 4 or 5 players onto this A site when the running back comes out. But instead, they only had 3 players in A. They had 2 members pushing into B, gets the flank, cuts off the rotation, secures them the round. And while it is well played by Springfield College, Hood College, again, I sound like a broken record, but they're not pushing out of any of these sites. They're not getting any map control on this defense, and they're letting Springfield kind of walk all over them here.
Walking all over them is exactly what's happening. We don't get to see, time and time again, the 4-2, 4-2. We do actually see it go to the 5. So, unfortunately for that, the caster's curse will show and rear its ugly head. It won't happen, but they're going to still kind of force this situation. They want to. You kind of have to. You're going to have to play this one out. They've got some shotguns in tow to try and hold out, but the rush will come through. Ult coming out as well. Knives in play. They'll take the dive through. One player inside of the tunnel itself of Connector, but it'll be Little Smudge will bomb it out. The show will go on, and Tiki will not. And it'll be a 5v4. Jellies will take Ben. Mystic finds Jellies on the refrag, but you do have Spike completely planted now, and it's going to be hard for them to hold on to this one with 4 players making their way towards side.
Yeah, 4-3. We do have a player on the flank, gonna run into Dusk, and Effects is gonna get the kill into Dusk. Aggressive Act is gonna trade it out, making this a 3v2. JP getting the kill into Scuba. It's now a 2v1. Aggressive Act does have the operator, but he's on the bomb. Misses the shot, and that's gonna be the 3rd round on the board for Hood College. Well done.
I honestly feel like in that situation from Aggressive Act, if you wanted one player to be the last one standing in that situation, it probably would have been them. However, the operator may not have been the decision in that engagement for fighting. Maybe pick up a Vandal, pick up a Phantom, honestly, pick up a Spectre, because I'm pretty sure one was right next to you in that spot. Pick up something else, because you're not going to be able to win those engagements so swiftly, especially if Hood manages to pull off those cheeky crossfire angles, which we did actually see come to effect in that position. So, a great half nonetheless, and quite frankly, when you look at the scoreboard coming into this one, Aggressive already dropping up to the 16 mark. 16, 6, and 6 has shown that aggression and completely denied Hood of any chance going forward.
Definitely, Hood College is gonna have to step it up on their attacking side. It's now 3-9. They do have double duelists like they did last time, so they should be able to make some space. To their credit, I did criticize them for not pushing out on defense, but attacking side, I'm expecting to see them getting a lot more map control. They have a lot of utility. They don't have a Sova, which may prove difficult, but I think that if they play together and they play their crossfires, they have a chance of at least getting some rounds back into this match.
Yeah, there are some very, very cheeky Zovo arrows that can come through, as we do see one all the way over now onto the A objective. The ult orb will be gathered by Jellies to secure maybe the run it back just a little bit sooner than others. While Ben will inspect his weapon and check out the girl on top of it, he will continue to hold out the actual A long and A short push. There is one smoke down on short, but the players will come back. He'll try to put down the droid, to try and catch the backline off. That's that roam denial we've been talking about to secure, and there's one team we've seen really have success for a roam on both sides of the field. It's going to be Springfield College.
JP getting some pressure mid is going to actually be able to catch out Scooby here. So now it's going to be a 5v4 in favor of Hood College. Looks like they're going to take this B side in the pistol round. Double dart covers coming out. The recon dart also going to be there. But Jellies with the flank gets effects. Bentley trades it out. It's now going to be a 4v3 in favor of Springfield College.
Ooh, Dusk on the flank coming around. Little Smudge will find, but Mystic will fall to Dusk again. A 2v2. Spy Carrier was killed, so that's been denied. You do still have your 2 players holding strong in that Omen and Raze in sight to hopefully secure a little bit extra, but can JP and Little Smudge hold this one together? They try to take this one in both sides, but the flank will come around. Tiki escaping using the Jash to the other side. A great success getting out of that dangerous situation, but a flank now by Dusk. It won't matter. A Little Smudge headshot taps Dusk and removes the lifeline in tow. JP will finish off the spike plant in a 1v2 situation. Tiki, he's gone 13-6 so far. He'll need to make it 15-6 if he wants any chance of taking this round and bringing it up to a 10-3 scoreline. One player caught off guard. He finds JP stepping now to the side. He turns away. The last second just barely missing him, and he's going to head onto the box on site looking the wrong direction. He thinks he's in cover. He's back aside, and Little Smudge will find his 3K, giving Hood College round 4.
Huge round from Hood College coming out there. They really needed that pistol round. That means they almost certainly win the conversion round. Gonna come back into this game. Also, I'm so sorry, Mystic Shadow. There's a Sova on this team. I don't know what I was thinking. Very important to have those recon darts, and we did see them have a lot of pressure. That round looked a little shaky towards the end, but they really clutched it out, and really good positioning coming out of Hood College, making this game just a little bit closer.
Is exactly what you need to do. Right now, you are quite a far distance behind 5 rounds, but it's pretty shaky at best to really defend onto this map and hold on. There's a lot of bad situations, especially with the fact there's 3 objectives you have to work with. So currently, 1 player sitting on the spawn. He'll bait out the ult orb to tap it. The shots will try to go around. None that would have connected, but nonetheless, just firing to keep the presence known. That's Aggressive Act, the player we've been hyping up this entire time. They are the only person really holding a defending C besides the 2 players sitting in Garage.
And important to note is that Springfield College actually did go for a pretty heavy force buy here. Only, I think, Tiki saving for the operator. They are going to have SMGs, shotguns, and as you said before, Aggressive Act with the Marshal. So this round could potentially be lost by Hood College unless they play it really smart and they execute really well. They are rotating to this A site. There's only going to be 1 member of Springfield College actually defending it, and he's not even going to be on the site. He's going to be getting smoked out in heaven.
Bad situation, but the call it will be made. We're already going to see Jellies taking the stance forward very swiftly all the way over to Tunnel. A Molly on the site to stop the plant. Jellies will get taken out, but not before he finds Mystic in tow. JP will force down the plant now. The spike will go in a bit of a strange position towards the outer wall of that inside boxes. But it is a 4v4. There's still a good chance for this one to go forward as a Molly will be tossed again to the night tunnel. JP, however, will find Tiki, bringing this one to a 3v4, and they're going to have to decide how to push this one if you're Springfield.
I like the idea of Tiki there with the flank. Does unfortunately get taken out by JP, but now as Springfield College tries to make their way onto the site, Effects though holding it down. So does Ben Lee, trapped up in heaven. Not a whole lot Aggressive Act can do, trying to retake with the Marshal. Might get taken out here unless he can dodge the flash, but he can. That's going to be a pretty solid round going to the way of Hood College.
That was actually extremely close into hitting that shot. Hit fired and actually finishing. That would have been just that would have been Aggressive Act at its finest right there. To pull that one out of nowhere and really win that one coming forward. But no, I mean, you're now 4 rounds behind if you're Woods. You have the if you're Hoods, you have the opportunity now as the economy for Springfield is going to be worse for wear because they did semi-force that last round before. It's going to be a hard decision about how you want to go. They're going to semi-force it again, however. They're hoping for that 1 in 10 chance of really denying in a very tight angle position with these small SMGs and shotguns to secure a round under their belt. However, these smokes by the Omen will secure another ult orb, and it's going to be Effects who does get tagged, actually. But the ability to heal on that agent will make it a little bit not as successful overall.
Yeah, Effects here playing a really tight angle with the Singer. Doesn't quite find him and has to run away to safety. And it looks like Hood College is going to play a little bit slower. Going to regroup after getting tagged through the smoke with the Marshal. Must be so annoying if you're Effects there. But going to heal up, like you said, and they're just kind of playing default, trying to see if Springfield College is going to push out. I don't expect that they will, considering they have pretty low-range weapons. But I'm sure Hood College will figure that out soon enough.
And in this situation, you're all just kind of holding out near mid-window back inside of your own attacker spawn. If you are the side of Springfield, it's going to be a little bit hard to stay patient. The one person we know there's no patience from is Aggressive Act. I mean, really, just the non-stop aggression we've seen from them, it's probably very hard. They're going to have to rein him in to keep him really situated nicely. But Effects is going to take a peek towards garage doors. There's no armor because he got that one tagged off. But the player in the corner will actually get a shot up, but it won't finish. The inconsistency in the weapon will show its head. He'll heal off his own wall, but it won't matter. Scuba will deny, and the engagement on C will officially get underfoot. They have it spike coming onto the side itself. Shots between, it won't matter. Jellies will find it long range with the SMG. The flank as well as he'll secure a little smudge, and it looks like Springfield is going to try to take this one. JP, his exit frag here onto Jellies, but no time left. He's going to pull out the candy cane and run back to safety.
Wow, a little heartbreaking if you're Hood College there, losing the Rifty Springfield. The most expensive weapon they had was the Marshal. Aggressive Act actually got a pick onto that C long push and really slowed it down and kind of broke it apart. A valiant attempt coming out of Hood College, but now their buy is going to be really rough. They're going to have enough to afford maybe a rifle or two, but they might decide just to save here. Now we see the operator coming into the hands of Tiki is going to make this defense a lot harder to break into.
And the one person you definitely want to see the operator on the hands of is going to be Tiki. The ability to take these higher angles and get up to these higher spots to get these shots going off is going to be phenomenal. But instead, they're going to head over to garage and go from the window. They know the player is there, but they believe they also are aware of his position. The flank and the opportunity for them to step in may come through, and nade will be tossed. It will not be able to jump all the way in, but the smaller frags will actually jump over the wall to tag, but they're not going to try to peek that again. They're going to opt to go in a different direction and kind of still hold back in their own attacker spawn.
Yeah, really good nade there to kind of push Tiki out of the position and get them a little more control of mid. We can see that Hood College has a lot of control, but as I said, the aggressive act pushes out C Long. It's the first kill in a Mystic Shadow, and now Hood College is going to be scrambling just a little bit as they're down a player.
Owen will try to blind the opposition out, but a smoke will drop, and JP in a bad situation, forced to take the step back. Recon Bolt gathering his position as well. No assistance really nearby. No one's actually holding that mid window, but you do have 3 players near or in B site. Oh no. Aggressive act will fall.
Gets the headshot to aggressive act with the Sheriff that shuts down the flank and opens up this whole C Long in favor of Hood College.
A push will come onto the C side. It'll be Little Smudge who falls to Scuba, and they're not in a bad situation. They'll find another, though. Dusk on the back side will also find JP. Scuba will fall, however, to Effects in the rush around. This is going to be Tiki with the operator. They know they're going to need to be ready, but Effects is there first. A 1v2 and Effects still at 86 HP. Won't be blinded, but Jellies will find it through the corner as well to finish that one off. Save the operator, save the world. They'll take that round, bringing them up to 11.
Yeah, and Hood College, I believe Effects actually flashed Ben Lee there on that entry. So Ben Lee gets taken out. Effects does find the trade, but it's not enough. A 1v3 or 1v2 is pretty unwinnable. They does take down Tiki, but the operator's going to go back into his hands. Hood College does have a buy round, though, so all hope is not lost, but it's going to be 5-11, so they're going to have to start making some stuff happen and switch the momentum of this game.
Momentum is key. Eventually, there will become a time in which you kind of lose that mentality, the confidence going forward, and you have to worry about that secondary level of game. While you have your own physical aspects and keeping that one up, and Dusk readily aware for that recon bolt, you also have to be able to keep your mentality up, keep your confidence high, and not become tilted, as they do say here in the gaming world. You can't let that happen to you, and that's a whole other part of the game, and I think Springfield's done a very good job of staying in it. They're very confident, and I think Hoods has done a good job of not getting tilted, but it could get harder and harder as the rounds continue to pile up.
Hood College, a lot of bright spots on their roster. Lil Smudge and Effects both going positive, getting 15 and 14 kills respectively. Pretty impressive from these duelists. This is their have to lose. They are pretty good agents at making space. JP not quite able to get the pick there. Looks like Hood College is just going to try to play it safely. They're actually, I think, waiting for the flank since Aggressive Act had been pushing out a C Long, but it looks like Springfield kind of keyed into that. It's going to play a little safer and just have their operator hold down C Long instead.
Yeah, you do still have the 5v5 still in play. You have Spike held back. They're going to look like they're pushing towards A at this moment. 2 players situated nicely on A, however. 3 elsewhere. 1 inside B, 1 holding window and garage, and 1 on C side. So you do have the numerical advantage going forward. Can you get the frags on this aggressive stance to step forward? Once those smokes come out, that's the information you need, especially at this time. Everyone begins the rush over to this side. It's just, you know, it's going to happen. A kill will drop. Mystic finds Scuba from under hell. Dusk will get one through the smoke of heaven. He'll find Mystic on the refrag, and the spike will begun to get planted by Little Smudge. Effects with a 2K to find Jellies and aggressive. Ben Lee will finish off Dusk, and it's just up to Tiki with the operator at hand. They have little to no chances of it, but the operator is a devastating weapon to go for it. The question is, will they choose to save, or will they actually go for these exit picks? It looks like a decision to save. Will walk away with knife in hand to get that away that much faster, but a save from them. So Springfield will lose out this round, but Hood College has done a very good job of taking this one with that aggression in the last 20 seconds of the round.
A good play from Hood College there. They played that round really slowly, just kind of feeling it out, trying to figure out where the operator was, where Aggressive Act was playing, and then able to hit this really late A, execute really fast before the rotation from Springfield College could get out. And then they just played the gun battles and traded it out. Only lost 1 player and got 4 on the side of Springfield. So really well played by Hood College, trying to switch the momentum and get themselves back into this game.
Absolutely true. Now in R6, we have a term from playing into the last few seconds. We call it the 30-second meta. And since our objectives are fairly close to each other for the, maps that we're in, it is a lot more annoying, but they did a very good job of kind of breeding into that 30-second meta. Hood College coming through and waiting until the last 20 seconds to dedicate themselves to that site, catching the opposition off guard, staggering their deaths and their lives in the process, and that's going to ultimately lose you the round because you don't have the people to back up your fight on the engagement, and you have a disadvantage on the retake because you weren't able to find any in the process. So bad situation for them, but they do still have the economy to kind of force this into this one and continue to fight it out. In fact, I think they possibly could continue for another one, but Tiki would probably choose to rather save it up and go for an operator in the next round they can get.
Drone does actually spot out JP, the Hunter's Fury, coming out on the side. Not quite sure whose Hunter's Fury that was. It looks actually it was Scuba's, so that's coming out of the side of Springfield College trying to get a pick. Doesn't quite find anything. It affects gonna be in this mid-window position. Not a lot he can get. I like this angle though on the side of Jellies on this A long. A little more aggressive. It's gonna be another angle that Hood College is gonna have to clear if they do a delayed A execute. But it looks like most of their players are heading towards C. But Springfield College is a pretty solid read on this push.
They do have the one flank wash over towards, their spawn, attacking spawn. It looks like they have realized that the push is more than likely going to go. We do hear an ability get popped off, and it's going to be a little bit difficult. Omen ready to go in as well. He'll smoke out the process. A recon bolt will catch the position behind Platt, and it'll be pulled up. A Killjoy ult comes out, misses the operator shot, but Aggressive won't miss. He finds two. JP will fall, and Tiki will find out Little Smudge. The drone will be saved. His teammate saving his life. Aggressive will find his third, but be refragged by Effects, but Jellies won't let Effects get away with it. He'll fall, and Springfield will take their round 12, bringing them to match points.
Really well played by Springfield there. They had a complete read on what Hood College was doing. The Sova arrow, finding the bomb, heading towards C. We had Jellies playing in that pretty aggressive angle on A, didn't see anything. Gave Springfield College a lot of certainty as to where the Hood hit was going to come. And then again, the beautiful crossfire between Aggressive Act and Tiki. Not a whole lot more they could have done better there. It was just really well played. And also the orbital strike, I forgot to mention, Dusk really just making Hood College panic there and securing them the round, bringing us to match point.
Now, for this match point for Springfield, they only have one ult. That's going to be the knives in the hands of Tiki, but we could actually have run it back. It popped up as well. Jellies was going for that ult orb, not able to secure it because it looks like a very aggressive stance coming from Hood College in this push, but the battle bot will come through. The Rays will try to go for the shot on the side, but Jellies in a bad spot, forced to heal up. They have bought time over on this objective. Rays continuing getting the ult orb. They'll actually find and succeed in gathering, and a Little Smudge is going to have that ult ready to go. The question is, whose ult will be more detrimental to the other side?
Hood College already rotating onto C, pulling the rotate from Springfield. Tiki though misses the op shot, doesn't find Omen either as JP takes him out. It's now gonna be a 5v4 and there's gonna be no members of Springfield on the site, but Aggressive Act peeks through crouch and gets the first kill into Effects.
A very nice skill to have. Honestly, a shock that the Omen was not caught out despite the crosshair being on. Just maybe the eyes not catching up with the hand of that process. And ult will come out as well. I believe that is going to be a Little Smudge ready with it. They'll take the aggressive dive and they'll find it going in. Aggressive will fall. And the turn from Little Smudge to find Jellies. Dusk will not let it go uncontested. A 3v2. And he's going to come in from the connector. He has the opportunity to come in. Two players sitting inside a cubby. One in the back of sight. An operator entire. It's going to be Dusk who finds JP. The two in cubby now need to step out and find. It'll be Ben who finds Dusk out, and it's going to be a bad chance for Scuba. He's just going to say no thank you and go all the way back through the defender spawn, saving the operator to give it right back to Tiki in the next round.
Hood College there pulling out the over rotate on the side of Springfield, especially because Springfield was playing a little greedy there. They had actually a double operator. Aggressive Axe didn't even have shields. He just bought an op. And if you're gonna rotate as the operator and not leave one on C long, that's always gonna be a really risky play. I'm sure they were just worried about having to retake with double operators, but they really do get punished for their over rotate, and really well done by Hood College to execute. And we cannot fail to mention Little Smudge holds so much pressure there with the showstopper, getting the pick onto Aggressive Act and making so much space for them on the C site.
not even with the showstopper. The second it's overturning and finding the headshot kill inside a garage of that window. Oh my goodness, not letting that go for a one and done. Finding two, but unfortunately being refragged by Dusk. But they'll clear out the garage, the mid doors, and make it so they're even bangable in this situation. They're going to have two players holding in, one in top of the window and the other actually inside. The shots will go between. Aggressive Act will win the engagement and Little Smudge will fall. No chance of that one going forward. And now Aggressive on their 24th kill with their 2.0 KD is going to be on a rampage. Dusk finds JP but gets refragged by Mystic. Effects will take out Scuba in a 3v3 going forward, and they're just stuck holding inside of the courtyard, not sure what to do with themselves, but it looks like they may take the rotate over to A.
Oh, the run it back doesn't quite find Effects in time, gets taken out. It's going to be a 3v3. The bomb is making its way to Ace, but Tiki with the operator misses the first shot. Might have time to reposition for the short, though.
It's the short player coming up. Tiki's going to smoke themselves off because they're in a dangerous spot using all three just to escape, to not waste the operator. That's how much Tiki loves the operator in that situation. Spike will begun to get planted. They're not going to completely contest it just yet, and it will be a retake that has to go into foot. Flash is coming out. It will catch the player sitting in cubby. He'll find it. Jellies takes Effects, but Mystic on that. No way, Aggressive. 3K again. They'll take it, and Springfield will take it all.
What a fantastic round of high impact frags coming out of Aggressive Act there with another 3K, as we were talking about before. Ends the game with 26 kills, and that's Springfield College taking the series.
Goodness gracious. And once again, who is that standoff player we see in terms of KD? Who else but Aggressive Act? And while I don't want to let Aggressive Act come through and get MVP back to back, who else is there in that besides maybe Pinky on the operator? I mean, 26 kills, the impact you're able to have with that. Now, you do have to keep in mind your utility for your support players going in, but quite frankly, the only one I can think of would be Tiki for that. And Tiki's operators with those engagements and taking those positions, I mean, just outdone in every regard. 11 kills more in that match alone on that map. But we will not head to map 3. It is a 2-0 done victory for them. And another phenomenal one for them. I think they gotta go 4-1, while Hoods will now go 4-4. No, 1-4. What is it? 1-4.
1-4.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful gunplay coming out of this side of Springfield College, taking both maps really convincingly. 13-6, 13-7, Aggressive Act. Springfield College played triple duelist and didn't get punished for it, and it won them the game. They have such high impact fraggers like Aggressive Act, like Jellies and Tiki, and Hood couldn't really find a response to that. They didn't really get any of the flanks off that we see work really well for Springfield, and this game felt pretty much in the hands of Springfield the whole time.
I mean, back-to-back action going forward in every direction. Just better flanks. I think that's a huge determining factor from coming from R6. I'm always watching for these roamers in terms of, because it's a very, there's like 3-4 floors for every map. You got to watch for flanks in every direction. It may be a lot wider and more spacious, but you still have to watch for that flank guard. And wow, once I'd had the Killjoy, they weren't able to deny the flanks no matter what, and it really came back to bite them in the rear. Even one side, Springfield, they didn't really have great flank watch. It didn't matter because Hoods didn't really go for the flank as much as they should have, and that was really kind of the determining factor. When you have Aggressive Act coming in aggressively and being that front line player, really taking themselves into the action, you kind of have to be wary of your backline as well. Let two people on one fight against Aggressive Act. Hope they win that engagement, which they should win that engagement, at least get the refrag off. But when you let a player come from behind like Jellies, who was coming into the duelist from the backline, you're not going to have a backline anymore because you're just not paying attention to that side.
Definitely. Not to say that Hood didn't have some really standout moments. We saw Little Smudge and Effects kind of really step up in this game. They were able to get some high impact round wins on their attacking side. I think Hood College just needs to tighten up their defense, play honestly a little more aggressively. If holding angles and your crossfires aren't working, try to punish Springfield for being indecisive. Try to take some aggressive action against their attacking side, because if you can't get some rounds and you can't switch the momentum, the game becomes much more difficult to win.
It's difficult indeed. Just not what you wanted to see if you are at college, but nonetheless, that will take it. Springfield College will go up, and they'll win it in a 2-0. My name has been Infernosis, joined here by the wonderful Alice. Thank you very much for my first cast here on NECC for Valorant. I had a great time. I will be doing the next game as well, joined by the wonderful Jim, and I'm looking forward to that one as well. You have any closing words here, Alice?
I'm excited to see what your next series looks like.
I appreciate it. So we will catch you guys in the next game. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.